KCRW. Happy to welcome back to KCRW, Joe Henry. Good to see you.
Thank you, Chris. Nice to be here.
It's great to have you here. I love the mood that you evoke in this piece, and I guess we have to point out the vocalist in here, Miranda.
Miranda Day Laurie, yes.
Yeah. Where did you find her?
I met her at a Gamblers Anonymous meeting. I'm a little embarrassed to say that, but...
A Gamblers Anonymous?
Yeah, here in town. But she's promised her husband she would never perform professionally again, so I'm really not supposed to talk about her too much.
Wow.
But she's a lovely person.
Does that mean that, you could gather from that moment that the act of performing and being a singer is a gamble in itself, and that might be the reason why she's not able to do it?
Well, it is for most of us, yeah.
I guess so. It's been a couple of years since you've had a full-length release out, and I think you've done some amazing work here. A lot of this constructed at home, right?
Probably about a third of the record I did in the garage.
In the garage with producer Pat McCarthy.
Patrick McCarthy, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to point out to the audience that you have hit a bit of a snag this week in in your upcoming tour, because you had a band together that you were, I know, very excited about. I remember hearing about this band, but it sort of dispersed here about a week ago.
Well, I've got a bad habit of working with people who are in other bands, and most of those bands do a lot better than I do, so it's kind of hard to keep them on retainer for any length of time.
And you're keeping that tradition going, because you've invited to the studio this morning Kristin Hersh.
Sure, Kristin. Kristin, are you in a band?
Yeah.
I thought I was kind of moving away from that trend, but...
Yeah. Welcome, Kristin. Thanks for joining us. Kristin Hersh of Throwing Muses. This is not a good sign, Joe. You're continuing to...
Yeah.
How about the other guys here in the studio? Why don't you go around the room and...
On bass, we have Greg Richling, who's also in a band, the Wallflowers, and Larry Chancey on drums. I don't know what Larry does besides this.
And where did you find Larry?
Through Greg. Actually, they're pals, and I guess they've played together before.
Now, so what does this mean in terms of the future of your band and what it may become?
Well, it will remain some kind of revolving door policy, apparently. It has its ups and downs. It has its good sides and its bad sides.
Well, does this mean then that you're attracted to musicians that are just so talented that they get swept up by bands, or does it mean that there's something about their working with bands that...
Well, it just seems to be some kind of coincidence. I hear people play, on other records. I see them in a band, and, it seems like anybody who's, any good is working a good bit of the time.
I see. That makes sense. Stands to reason. We're going to head into one from the album. This is a live performance of material from the new release on Mammoth Records called Trampoline. This is the lead-off song, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's Bob and Ray. It's Joe Henry and band in studio.
That won't let me sleep. He sizzles like a radio, another world away. He laughs at me in my bare feet. My flashlights glow and blown TV, reading in flight magazines by Bob and Ray. I can see it all. I was born want gin and fruit. Take me where the grass is high and savage to his bitter root. Give me back my winter clothes. Give me all my things. Someone give that fucking bug a new song to sing. I can see it all. I will fall with you, but I can wait up here as long as I have to. As long as I have
Joe Henry and band live on KCRW. Bob and Ray. That's from the album Trampoline, new from Mammoth Records. Joe Henry on guitar and vocals. We're also joined by Kristin Hersh on guitar, Greg Richling on bass, and Larry Chancey on drums. And let me ask you, Joe, we don't know of any upcoming dates for you here in Los Angeles. I think
we're pretty close to having a confirmed date on May 16th.
May 16th.
Troubadour, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, May 16th at the Troubadour, so you've got sort of a deadline built in here to get yourself...
Yeah, one way or another, I'll be there. Anyway.
Well, but this is a band thing, though, and I'm sure you're going to be actively searching out
Oh, sure.
something solid here, because you've got a tour that's going to take you through the summer, don't you?
Well, at least just initially we're doing about 2.5 weeks, kind of major market stops, from New York to here, and then probably over to Europe for a few weeks, and then probably back over.
I see. Now, the album Trampoline is named for a song that's on the album. I think it's a great word. It's one of those words that I've never seen it as an album title, but...
well, it's just a word that kind of it certainly carries its own images and, its own movement along with it. Movement,
yeah. Sort of ups and downs and things. And I wonder, as we head into this, if you want to say anything about it, Trampoline.
About the song?
The song itself, yeah.
I guess I just thought, kind of after the fact, it was a really good metaphor for kind of the ground being unstable under your feet. But I never think of that stuff when I'm writing. Only later. You kind of decide what it's, how it might work.
Joe Henry and band performing live in the studio.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The floor will have its waiting. It fights me like a trampoline. It won't let me on the ground. So this time I'm not coming down. This time I'm not coming down. I've been talking in my sleep. You once kissed me not to hear me speak, and loved me just so you could leave. Every bit of life wrung out of me. And this time I'm not coming down. This time I'm not coming down. overfed. And we're in this thing over our head. My mind has never been so clear, but I stutter like an auctioneer as the night has come alive with dreams. That hoot and holler, spit and scream, every one of them is sick with lust, but every one of them will outlive us. This time I'm not coming down. This time I'm not coming down. And if I really thought I could, I'd give up your ghost for good. But I'm not sure it isn't you that keeps my ghost from leaving too. But I don't miss you half as much as who you made me think I was, when I could see myself the way you do, and I could almost see myself in you. I could almost see myself in you. This time I'm not coming down. This time I'm not coming down. This time I'm not coming down.
Called Trampoline. That's a title piece from the album on Mammoth Records from Joe Henry. Joe Henry is joined in studio by Kristin Hersh on guitar. We also have Greg Richling on bass, Larry Chancey on drums. Joe takes care of vocal and guitar work. Joe is appearing at the Troubadour coming up, you say May 16th. And I should also say that Kristin's got a date at McCabe's coming up April 19th that you can check out Kristin Hersh at McCabe's in just about a week's time or so. Now I know, Joe, you've lived all over the Midwest, and a lot of people say that your material definitely sounds like it's got that Midwestern flavor and Midwestern feel in mind.
The big scope. Yeah.
The big scope, yeah. But you're living here in Los Angeles, and I know you've sort of likened it to Ernest Hemingway living in Spain and writing about America. You know, I have to ask you about this though. I've been trying to hold back, but I didn't know that you went to school with Jeffrey Dahmer.
I did go to elementary school with Jeff Dahmer. Yeah.
Elementary school.
4th through 7th grade, anyway.
Wow.
That was in Bath, Ohio. The Midwest seems to have more than its share of disgruntled postal workers and serial killers.
See, you know, I spent a lot of time in Texas, and I thought it was because I thought Texas had a lot.
Like Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois. I think they have it pretty well covered.
Well, I think you have to throw Texas in there too. Maybe down on the list, but. Yeah. I mean, so I guess you knew him.
I knew him quite well, yeah. We rode the same bus together for 4 years.
Wow. How weird. Any indication at that at that early age?
He was a cannibal? No, I mean, people ask me that all the time, but no, he was
he didn't want to trade his sandwich for your finger or something?
Fairly quiet kid, you know, kind of no worse than a lot of kids at that age.
You sound like a news clip. He was such a nice kid. Yeah.
Well, they always do say that. He seemed like such a nice fellow, and he did.
I know.
He wore the same clothes all the time. Maybe that was kind of a tip-off. I don't know.
Did that experience ever find its way into your work as a songwriter?
No, not yet. No. I guess it could easy enough.
Yeah, we'll have to pay close attention.
Written songs about a lot less.
Mm. Well, that's in a way more interesting, isn't it? About putting the magnifying glass on the dust on the windowsill as opposed to the window or something.
That's what you teach in school. Yeah.
We have Joe Henry in the studio. Look for the album on Mammoth Records called Trampoline. What we're going to do here is put a couple back to back. This is one called Ohio Air Show, speaking of Ohio. And we'll head straight into Medicine. It's two from Joe Henry and band live on KCRW.
Just before the crash, I was at the rail. I remember now somebody shouting, but I couldn't hear too well. And when he went into a dive, we all came on our feet, and just like he meant to nose into the lake, he did so perfectly. Just before the crash, I was watching you, thinking how time hasn't changed, even how what it promised to. So you laughed and you turned to what I almost didn't see. And when I felt him hit the bridge, at first I thought it was just me, but I'd always keep you in my dreams. I'd always my legs were hanging off your hand, and I was feeling great, pretending I might follow John and talking trash today. I remember now somebody shouting, I can hear it too. Sometimes the voice that calls me back, and sometimes it sounds like you. But I'll always keep you in my dreams. I'll always keep you in my dreams.
3, 4.
Everybody knows the crash left me on my back. Everybody knows that this is just my medicine. I staked it like a claim, and it pushed me like a broom. Now I'm straighter than a razor. Well, anyway, I will be soon. Come sit down beside me. You're crippled little kid. The day once fell away and left its rose on everything. Now the sun it keeps above my head, the meanest kind of blue. I keep myself behind the clouds, almost safe from you. I'm gonna move myself into that room above the bank. I think I'm gonna buy myself a brand new pair of shoes. I can feel it, everything's about to change and soon. I won't even have to try. If I can just change you.
Two from Joe Henry and band live on KCRW. Medicine and Ohio Airshow Plane Crash both come from Trampoline, the new release on Mammoth Records. We heard a live performance in the studio. Joe Henry on vocal and guitar, special guest Kristin Hersh on guitar, also Greg Richling on bass and Larry Chancey on drums. Joe Henry has a date set for May 16th at the Troubadour in Los Angeles. And by the way, I should mention again that Kristin Hersh has a date coming up at McCabe's where you can hear her material. in live performance. That's April 19th. Now, you guys have something else in common aside from being friends. Both of you will be featured on the upcoming tribute to Vic Chestnut, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, early June that's coming out.
June, they're saying right now.
Yeah. So what song is it that you contribute on the Vic Chestnut album, Joe?
It's a song called Guilty by Association.
And that's actually a duet. You do that with Madonna, right?
That's right.
Okay. I haven't heard this yet, and I'm so anxious.
It turned out really beautifully, if I may say so.
Yeah?
I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Now, is there any particular approach that you guys had together? When I think of you doing a song with Madonna, it sounds sort of, it makes me wonder how that played out.
She kind of came in after the fact. I mean, I produced the track with Patrick McCarthy, and she came in and sang vocals on it later. I guess the legend behind the song is that Vic Chestnut wrote the song about Michael Stipe, who had produced a couple of his records, and it's a song about the albatross of Michael's celebrity on Vic. And I had no idea this. I just thought it was a really beautiful song, and kind of threw my name in the hat. I said, I'd love to sing this song on on this record. And I guess Michael Stipe actually sings backing vocal. He sings about himself without knowing it, apparently. And someone in Vic's camp, I think it was his manager, called me and said, well, we'll give you a spot. How about you get your sister-in-law to sing Michael Stipe's backing vocal, since it's so loaded with personal irony.
Wow.
And I'd never really imagined a scenario where we'd work together, but it wasn't about my record. It was not about promoting me. And I think it's a really beautiful song, and I think it's a great concept. It's a great charity. So I said I was willing to make a phone call anyway, and she just really liked the song. Bottom line.
Interesting. Now, this is going to be part of a forthcoming Sweet Relief project. It's Sweet Relief 2, and it's songs of Vic Chestnut, set for release on Columbia Records early June.
Right.
And that's got you with Madonna, and Kristin Hersh has a track. There's Sparkle Horses
Kristin,
on
what
there.
did you guys do?
Panic Pure.
Panic Pure. Cracker does Withering. I remember that one. Definitely looking forward to that. Thanks so much for joining us,
No,
Joe.
thank you.
It's great to see you, and thanks for getting the band together for this morning's performance.
It's my job.
And we just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
It's great new work. The album is called Trampoline. It's new from Mammoth Records. Morning Becomes Eclectic on KCRW. Joe Henry.